Yeah, I call into question some of the facts on this page. But regardless,
I'm okay with tearing this guy down. I just don't want you to go back to. You already tore down Helen Keller. Who was the other person you were trying to steal valor from the other day? Not steal valor, but just take it away.
Einstein?
No, why would you?
Einstein wasn't a real person.
I was trying to think of the other conspiracies I did back in the day.
I think it was also. It was Coco. Coco the gorilla.
Oh, we've been through this up and down 6 Question Sunday. That gorilla was not talking. That gorilla learned input orders the same way you can teach a dog that kind of shit. Like, it didn't learn to communicate. It learned that if it does these signs,
have you seen dogs hit those
plum
buttons?
Shows up in my palm.
Have you seen those dogs hit those buttons and communicate stuff?
Yeah, but they're not communicating. They're learning. They don't understand the grammar and syntax of what they're expressing. They understand that this and this and this means that a treat comes to me. These sounds just came out of my owner's mouth, which means that this one, this one, this one, and this one is what I need to do in order to achieve the treat. They're not like, oh, wait, he just posed a conditional hypothetical at me. I need to hit this one.
I think they know I think those border collies have 100-word plus IQs. I mean, I'm not IQs, but vocabularies. They know what those words mean. Like they can. They describe.
I think they can remember what the sound is in like tandem with another thing happening.
Yeah,
but I don't think they actually.
But isn't that what vocabulary is? No. Really?
They don't understand the meaning of it. They understand what they're supposed to do when that sound comes out.
That's people too, though. Like blue is blue. I don't need to know anything about the color spectrum.
But if you use a series of words in a sentence to inquire about something to do with my life, I understand and can take many avenues to respond to that because I internalize and understand the root of the question and what you're asking. If you do that at a dog,
I feel like I've seen them do complex things, like not regularly, but I don't know. I watched some Animal Planet thing about the world's smartest dog. He knows 400 words, and they like go talk to this border collie that's in there fucking typing out sentences on the floor.
The one guy who's on screen is like, "Yeah, I'm the dog vocabulary expert." Oh, what do I do? What do I not do?
I'm a producer.
I'm a producer. I produce lies and nonsense to sell to the Animal Planet station.
I also have this part of me that just wants to believe that animals that we're all just kind of the same. Like we're all sentient to some level, and we're just more sentient than they are, and we're able to put sentences together. Like, I think that whales should have some sort of personhood, and dolphins, I feel like they should be protected.
I'm fine with that.
Like, I don't think of them. Like, I get we're all animals, but when you say animal, you mean a different thing. You know, I feel like they've almost transcended the animal thing and getting close to the people thing to some extent.
I think you're right. Whales are fine. We can kind of play dolphins by ear. Let's start with whales.
I saw a dolphin try to rape a lady yesterday. Do you see that video on Reddit? It's like no, she's like, the ladies, they're like scuba diving, and the dolphin's trying to get its nose in her snoot.
That sounds like a guy I know. He should have rights.
And its dick's out the whole time. Its dick's out the whole time. He's after her, like trying to get that bottle nose up her snoot.
Well, you can't fuck around the ocean too much. That's their domain, man. They can just drown you if they feel like it. They can just grab you with their prehensile penis and pull you to the depths.
I don't think they grab you with it.
They can, though. It's prehensile.
I can break its grip. I don't think they can coil it around your limb like a squid,
it's either prehensile or it has an actual bone in it. But it's one of those is correct. We've gone through. I seen it.
Remember when Hank Hill got humped?
There's not really a bone in it. It just feels
that's
that way.
True. Hank Hill had that harrowing experience at La Grunta, the La Grunta vacation spot.
I think the dolphin got like red cheeks, like its cheeks were flush, like they were using that to signify a hard on.
Yeah,
because they didn't want
his belly was getting red when it was getting.
Oh, that's what it was. Well, in the video I saw, his belly got more than red. His dick came out, and it was he had a fucking baby's arm down there flopping around underwater.
I bet they're big animals, right? How much does the dolphin weigh?
I would guess big dolphin, 500, 600, 700 pounds. 500 pounds? 500 pounds would be my guess. Okay. Big dolphin.
That would be similar to what I'd guess too. They're only next to other dolphins, and so unless you have like a good foreknowledge of dolphin weight,
but you can't really see him very well, and water compresses.
Oh my god! An adult dolphin can weigh that can't be accurate.
That's not true, Zach. You've fallen for a big dolphin. In
No way dolphins
little,
can wear
Zach
6,000
said
pounds.
between 2,000 and 6,000 pounds, roughly.
how
Really?
dolphins are so much bigger than I thought.
I'm not confirming it. I'm telling people.
How
what
6,000
he wrote.
pounds is just insanity mode.
All right, Zach. I think
I don't believe that.
the Maui dolphin's only 110 pounds, and then
Bottlenose
I guess
dolphin.
the orca
Bottlenose
counts
dolphin.
as a.
Oh, don't count the orca.
I'm
it-
reading an
Killer
article.
Whale.
I'm
I want to
learning.
know.
No, I see what happened. The top link has it in like the Google preview, but you can't tell it's talking about an orca.
Bottlenose dolphin. That's what we want. We want Flipper. Remember Flipper? You ever see that show?
I have the
okay.
answer. 3:30 to cut off my screen. Sorry.
Wait, this is an AI overview. Aren't these notoriously wrong?
330 to 1,400 pounds, according to Wikipedia.
For a bottlenose dolphin.
Bottlenose
Common
dolphins
bottlenose dolphin.
can range in size from 6 to
That's a
13
very
feet
wide
long
range.
and weigh 300 to 1,400 pounds.
That's way bigger than I thought they were. That thing could kill you easily.
Wait,
Just bang you
300
down.
pounds to 1,400 pounds in that
Yes.
range?
That's a huge range.
Huge range.
Yeah, there's like a lot of shapes and sizes of these things. They are human in that way. Jesus.
Maybe
Yeah.
1,400-pound dolphins have a weight problem, right? In the same way that humans get, like human males weigh between 150 and 700 pounds.
So
That's
just
true.
The 700-pounders are not
the
normal
boogie
human
double
men.
fist, the
The
wings
boogie
dolphin.
Man, that's crazy that we're the only animal that just dominates nature so hard that we have problems with being overweight. Like there's no troop of chimps out there who's just killing it so hard in their like their locale and wherever in Africa they are, their little tribe area, and they're just all fat. None of them. We're the only ones who just kick ass.
I'm trying to come up with an animal that proves Taylor wrong. Like bear?
Even bears, they get fat off of our labor. Unless they're finding all those honey buns and all that shit in the trash, all those calorie dense sugary things. Like
I was
maybe
going to say they
yeah.
get fat in preparation for hibernation.
Sure.
Like the way that they rock.
Okay, that's all right. Other than bears, there isn't a single animal I can think of that has weight problems.
Dogs. But that ties back to
and
your
that's-
later.
yeah.
That's just us
Dogs
again.
that we feed, yeah.
That's us. Wild
Every
dogs.
dog I've ever had.
Wild dogs are skinny. They all look like they are a dinner miss away from death,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably
There also
are.
aren't any other animals that have figured out how to do fentanyl, as far as I know. So I think
We're
the-
we're pretty addicted to making our lives a lot worse.
We
Dramatically.
actively make our lives harder for ourselves through
Mhm.
diet and lifestyle.
The fentanyl
choices.
thing is kind of fucked up, right? Like I don't do hard drugs, but like I don't know, if I was on a vacation and somebody offered me something, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'm not gonna be the square that doesn't want some fucking whatever that powder
You need to
is.
be a non-fentanyl doing
You got-
square.
I don't want fentanyl, but what I'm saying is like, if you got some powder you want me to snort, and everybody's snorting, I'll snort some of that powder. I'll rub it on my gums like in
Wait,
that like
doesn't
in
fentanyl
Scarface.
come as a powder?
It
Yes.
can come into anything. They could be what they do. My understanding is they're using fentanyl to make other drugs go further, right? Which is crazy to me because they show you that tiny little fleck of fentanyl that'll kill a man, and it's like, how do you disperse that over
Right.
a kilo
How do you stir
of
it
whatever
well
the
enough?
fuck?
Just use
Yeah.
baby laxative like an adult and
Okay.
cut your drugs in it and make it last longer.
So it's like you
It
could
sounds
just be
like what a
trying to
baby would do, not an adult.
No,
like-
that's the tried and true method.
You could just be trying to take like some Molly or whatever, like some medium grade, just fun time drug, but it's going to kill you in the parking lot. That's super sketchy.
That's
Mhm.
why you only get your cocaine from really, really rich people like Mr. Beast, because you know it's going to be good.
Oh, dude, if
Wait,
you know,
I
if
don't wanna
Mr.
go
Beast
there.
offered me cocaine, I mean,
that's
what am I
really
going to do?
good.
Get kicked out of the
pink
contest?
cocaine.
You gonna say no?
I got
That's
two
a-
people from every country to come together and do cocaine in a warehouse.
This is not the way that I want to compliment Mr. Beast.
One of those vials of cocaine is nothing but fentanyl.
Behind you are 30 million Legos.
First family that overdoses wins the prize money or whatever.
Last
That'd be
video.
awesome.
Damn,
Gets
he's
to bring
taking a
home this
turn with his
Lamborghini.
content. I thought children were watching these videos. For the most
Fentanyl roulette. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be so sick.
Shout out, Mr.
I hear he's going to
Beast.
do a video in India where he churns all the poop eaters into a fine paste for us to eat to feed the homeless. It'd be awesome.
That would be
He's
funny if he had a video at the same
everywhere.
time and he was like him trying to clean the streets in the middle of the poop festival.
That'd be
And
great.
he doesn't get it.
We're going to clean up all this shit for these kind people who can't seem to get this shit out of this city. And then they're all just like, fuck you, bloody fuck you, bloody fuck you, Mr. Beast.
Fuck you,
Yeah, they're pissed the fuck off. They're like, Mr. Beast an asshole. It's his biggest controversy ever.
Dude, I can't wait for your content at the Poop Festival. I'm going to watch your and Brandon's video on that.
It's going to be traumatizing. We were considering bring like an IRL streaming setup, but we thought if something traumatic happens, we might not want to have that live streamed on YouTube for the world to see. So we'll probably have to do some cutting after. But
that's also a lot of money to flash too. You know, like depending on what kind of rig you've got. Like you've got a DSLR with a whole setup. Like somebody might just want to change their life by taking it from you.
Yeah, well, it's pretty expensive. I know the main thing for IRL streaming is there's like companies that make the bag with the server in it, so you always have like internet wherever you go. But I think those are quite expensive, and then on top of that, there's like battery life for whatever you're filming with to worry about. And I mean, then once again, like, you know, if an Indian person does something to me, I might get kind of racist with him or something, and you know, you just don't need that out there on the internet for everyone to see. You got to be able to cut it.
Someone's gonna make a hate video about you.
Yeah.
Just start doing an Indian accent, like bloody fuck you, bloody, when they're robbing me.
Yeah, someone might make a mean-spirited video where they implicate Wendigoon as a bad guy for hanging out with you.
He did have a Hawaiian shirt. That part's confirmed.
What I learned is that none of us made the bad guy cut. That makes us basically Bernie Sanders supporters, progressives.
Right? Like, dude, call me irrelevant more directly.
I told him that we were going to India, and he was very confident that we were going to die. So I think, given how much knowledge of the world he has, I'm very confident that he could be right, and it will make for a great video. I mean, if one of us dies, like one of us still has the footage, right? It's
Zach, now somebody make a hate video called "Lesbian Book Club" and just run with it.
No one would even get the reference.
Probably true.
What have you guys been up to? What's up in your lives, in your personal lives? I know, Kyle, you just had a bit of a weed episode. I mean, that sounds a bit dark. Your eye almost exploded. Woody, what's up with you? Anything
just
good?
Got back from a sexcation in Charlotte with my wife. We like to get a hotel. We try to do it every month, but we don't. It's like 7 or 8 times a year, and we just do a little weekend and bone a bunch, I guess. And so that's what we did in Charlotte. We also saw we went to a coral reef show. We keep a fish tank together. It's like this shared hobby. So that's what we did on Sunday. Brought home some.
No, this was not the location that Nick Recato went to, right? It wasn't hedonism.
No,
I guess
not. I don't know about this, but yeah, that's it. Just did a little weekend with Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, we're watching the UFC event in the patron Discord over here. If you want to join." And he's like, "Nope, I'm on my sexcation." Like leaving that one on red.
Every 5 weeks, all year long, Woody goes on a little sexcation.
My parents would have sexcations when I was growing up with me in the house trying to play Left 4 Dead. That was really fun. They didn't get it.
They didn't even like send you outside? Like not
send me
even
outside. No, it was like 1 a.m. in the morning. I wasn't supposed to be awake. I was playing Left 4 Dead with my friends, and then I would just hear noises, and I'd be like, "What the fuck's going on?" The first time it happened, I cried. Actually, I cried very hard. It disturbed me. I was like 10 years old, and I remember,
really?
I was so disturbed. I was like, when I was younger, I hated like sex scenes in movies. I hated anything sexual. It really disturbed me.
I reacted very differently. It gave me a security that my parents got along.
No, I was like, this is degenerate. You guys have sex? That's fucked up.
I would mock them by I would hear like compliments from the night before or afternoon or whenever it fucking was, and then like the next day repeat them, and they're like, "Yeah, I guess you really did hear us. I remember saying that."
You've said this to me a dozen times over the years now, and every time it just takes me aback to be sitting there eating your Cheerios the next morning and be like sniping at Dad, like, "So Dad, did you take that pussy?" Or like, and it's like, oh
Jesus!
Like,
I remember, like, I thought it was so traumatized. Like, I remember, like, being very in my feels about it when I was 10 or something. I remember because it happened, and I think I started crying, and my mom came in. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. Something's going on." And then the next day, I was like eating cereal with my dad. He was like, "So, we're gonna talk about last night?" And I was like, "What's there to talk about?" And I remember going to school, like, my friends were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "It's fine. Shit just happens, bro." I remember being very like emo about it and very disturbed at the time.
Life's not as simple as you thought it was.
I just don't want to know about it. Like, keep it. I also like, I don't want them not to shit, but like close the door. You know what I mean?
There. Yes.
I mean, looking back, I'm glad that they were doing that because it shows that they probably still liked each other and still do. But at the time, I remember being very, very disturbed. I was like, what, they fucking have sex? I was like so grossed out by the idea that they could have any sexual feelings whatsoever. I was like, you know what? You guys need to like put a pillow fort in between you when you go to sleep. Like, don't touch each other. No kissing allowed. That was like my policy as a young 10-year-old.
My first job was working in my father's accounting firm. And so he worked a lot. He'd work like an 18-hour shift, but he also had a 2-hour commute. And maybe these numbers aren't adding up. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it was long. It was a 16-hour day with like a 2-hour commute. And then he'd get home and he was complaining to my coworker. He's like, it's like a second job. After I get home, I've got more to get done. He's got to bone the woman before he can sleep.
Well, I got to get home and think about, the due date for my presentation on Friday. And then I got to get my wife off 3 times and traumatize my son.
Exactly.
And then I could sleep. Yeah, it was like, he had work to do after he got home.
Well,
everyone else got to rest.
No, I would have come down on the same side as Tom in that if I was hearing that loudly, it would upset me as a child.
I found it extremely disturbing. I remember hearing it and being like, what the fuck is that? Is there someone in the house? And then I heard it and I was like, is that my fucking mom? And I was like, wait, what the fuck's going on? And then my dad came in doing the classic boxers and a t-shirt thing that was all like wrinkled and shit. And I was like, oh no. I was like
pulling his shirt way down.
The mistake was starting you at 10. They should have started you like before you even spoke, like we did at my house. It was just intrinsically known that mom and dad are upstairs banging.
Do you remember falling asleep hearing like your parents screaming at each other?
No, I never had that.
Oh, a little bit. I thought this was a part of childhood.
Yeah. You remember falling asleep hearing the beer bottle break over mom's head? Be like,
you just hear like, and you're just laying there.
I heard a lot more screaming than fucking, and I'm glad.
That's why Kyle and I turned out so well.
I wouldn't trade.
It's a healthy adult with a family and children.
It taught me how to really cut somebody to the bone with a verbal assault.
Well, my mom got me back when I was 15. She walked in on me jerking off. That was pretty brutal, to be honest with you. That was a horrible experience.
Like
where you were in your room though?
I was in my room, and I thought that she wasn't. I thought no one was there. I thought nobody was in the house. Because I remember walking downstairs and I would do the classic check, see if anybody's in the garage. There's no car there. I didn't hear anything. Turns out she was in the basement on the treadmill. But so I'm up there, whacking it or whatever. And she walks in and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what the fuck does it look like I'm doing? She's like, why is your dick out? I'm like, I'm jerking off. What do you think's going on? And she's like, oh, do you want to like hang out after? I was like, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck away from me.
How close is this to the actual conversation?
This is very close to that. She didn't say, hey, she was like, do you want to drink coffee after? And I was like, well, what do you mean after? Like, I'm leaving.
So what her attempt to be chill about it.
I can use a cup right now, actually.
Well, she walked in and she thought it was funny. She was like laughing. She was like, ha ha ha, what are you doing? And I was like, what the fuck does it look like I'm doing? She's like, oh. And I was like, yeah so, or like, is this going to stop? Because I was like, she had walked in my pants. I was like clenching my dick in my hands so she couldn't see it. It was like horrible. It was horrible.
That's brutal.
That's rough. That's
one of the last ages where like actually 15 is pretty late to be getting caught, Jack. And that's totally on her. Your door was closed.
What do you mean 15 is when you first start, Taylor?
Jesus Christ.
No.
The door was closed and it opened very fast. The moment between me looking at like some girl sucking dick on my phone and then seeing my mom's face was like half a second, to be honest.
I can't imagine what it was like to have the internet on your phone at 15.
I had a paintball magazine that had like, for some reason,
but those guys were cute.
I was into athletes. What can I say? And there was like every 8 pages of this paintball magazine, there was just like a lingerie full fold out.
Yeah,
and that didn't make sense until like looking back now. It's like, yeah, they knew who was buying these. And so
I was 13. Me and my friends were just watching chicks get gang banged while playing Fallout or whatever. It was just like that. It was instant.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. No. They made everybody real normal.
Got LimeWire I don't know. I had LimeWire by the time I was like 16 though. So that's
audio porn.
No. You could downloading videos from LimeWire, which was like
I got a lot of money out of the preview videos on those sites where it's like, I can still see your tits for like 40 seconds in like the backstory of why they're on this pirate ship.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
I've told this before, but I remember early on, and like when porn first hit the internet, porn sites had pop-ups that went everywhere. They really abused that like pop-up JavaScript. Everywhere. And I'm like, joke's on you. I can get off to this too. You're just giving me more choices.
Yeah, but you got to get those closed out. If you hear the car coming up the drive, it's like I got 40 windows to close one at a time with like a finger pad or whatever. Yeah. I remember LimeWire was so bad and our internet was so bad. I would download a porno for like, and I'm not talking about a whole hour-long video or something. I would download some 3-minute clip, and it would take 45 minutes to download. And I'd be like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This sucks. I can't jerk off to this. So I download like 8 of them preemptively. I'd have them all in a row. Like all of them are like slowly downloading together. And I'm hoping that eight pornos that all sound good will be jerk material. But sometimes you fail. Sometimes you're like, well, try again tomorrow.
Well, time to go imagination mode.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's still sites like that, but back then it was like the Wild West. So I had Kazaa and LimeWire, and I was just downloading anything and everything. When you were first able to download music, it was like, what? So it's all free? Mm-hmm. All the music is free? Because you had to go to Target or Walmart or the mall to spend $1997 on a goddamn CD. And all of a sudden they're like, no, actually every song forever is free now. And you don't even have to listen to the deep tracks and the shit on the albums you don't want to listen to. It was, I don't know if has there ever been like a revolution like that where something that before was not free became free, and it was just the Wild West because it's not like you had to go out and get it. It was just right there at your fingertips.
I wonder if no one was looking over your libraries were first created.
Oh, I bet if you were a learned man back then, and the idea of just a bunch of books you could go borrow, because
See, I never experienced this whole physical media thing. As long as I can remember, it was always Apple Music and Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, my dad had CDs when I was growing up, but even by then, it was like people were just getting music on the internet on YouTube.
Do you guys pay for a music subscription service?
Yeah,
Spotify. For that.
Or I guess I have YouTube Premium, and that includes the YouTube music thing.
I got Spotify and Audible and YouTube Premium.
YouTube Music is good. I just click on a Elton John song, and it takes me away. Takes me right where I need to go.